Hi everybody! So there's no intro today because I did not have time to record it. So first I am going in with Maybelline's Color Tattoo in the color Creamy Beige, and I am just using my ring finger to pat that into my eyelids, and then I'm using my clean pinky just to blend out the edges. And there I am going out of frame. Sorry guys! I'll get the hang of this, I promise. And I do already have a little bit of mascara on because I had run out earlier that day just to do some errands and didn't want to be face naked. Just blending out the edges with my pinky again. And then I am going in to do my eyebrows. I start by brushing them up, and then it takes me a good 6 or 7 minutes just to do my eyebrows, so I actually cut that part out. If you'd like to see a separate video on how I do them, then please just let me know in the comments section below because it is definitely a whole video all in itself. Now I am taking my E55 brush by Sigma and using that to pack on the color Texture by MAC, and I mentioned that in my fall favorites. This is that caramelly warm color, and I am using that from inner corner all the way to outer corner because this is definitely the main focus of the eye look. I want it to be really nice and warm and kind of chocolatey and just matte. So there I am swiping it all the way up into the crease. And now I'm using my Sigma E40 with just a little bit of MAC's eyeshadow in soft brown to blend out those harsh edges, using circular motions and windshield wiper motions to get it really buffed out. So just back and forth, back and forth, back into the soft brown, and then doing the other side. Soft brown is one of those colors that I use probably 90% of the time at least if I'm doing my eyeshadow. It is just an absolute must-have from MAC. Now I'm going to go in with a crease brush from, I believe, Essence of Beauty from the drugstore, and I'm using MAC's Swiss Chocolate. Love, 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 love this color for blue eyes. It like brings out all the blue and the gold and just beautiful. So anyway, I'm using that to go into my outer V. Just kind of sweeping it inwards towards the eye and a little bit onto the crease, like I'm doing here. And back over to the other side, just doing the same thing. And now I'm just going back in with the original E40 with no additional product on it, and just using it to really, really buff it out. The Swiss chocolate, kind of blending it into the texture. Just back and forth to make it look natural is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. No harsh lines. And now I'm going back in with the crease brush and the Swiss chocolate just to deepen things up. This look really is just about going back and forth and blending and then adding some more and building and blending some more until you get it how you want it. So I'm just packing on a little bit more of that Swiss chocolate, and then of course I'm going to blend out yet again with the Bare E40 brush. And now I'm going to take Dazzlelight by MAC, which is a really, really beautiful, slightly pearly, frosty finish highlight color. It has just a hint of a yellow undertone to it, so I picked that one to use as opposed to something more neutral or more pink toned because of all the warm colors that I'm using on the eyelids. And then I'm bringing that down into the inner corners or my tear ducts as well to brighten that up. And now we are going in with foundation. I am using L'Oreal's True Match Lumi foundation in their two lightest shades in the warm tone range, so the W12 and W3. I'm using those to mix together to get my correct shade, and after I apply this to my face, I realized that, hey, it's not summer anymore, you're white as a ghost, so I had to go back in with a little bit more of the lighter shade. And I am just putting little splotches of this all over my face, starting from the center and then blending it out from there rather than starting from the outsides, because if you start on the outside, then you end up with those ever so sexy lines of demarcation around your jaw, splitting your face from your neck that you see some people wearing, and it is really just not a hot look. So I'm just buffing away with the Sigma F80 brush. And I am blending this down onto my neck and even a little bit onto my ears to make sure that there aren't any differences in tone between my face and my body. And I got a little itch. Don't you hate that when you have like an itch and you don't want to scratch it because you don't want it? Anyways, so now I am taking MAC's Prolongwear Concealer in the shade NW15. So it's a bit more pinky toned than the other products I use and my skin in general. And I use that because it really helps to brighten up the under eye area. So I'm just putting it in sort of a V shape, but I don't know. I'm not too big into that really stark white highlight in that sharp V shape that a lot of people are doing now. I know Kim Kardashian does it, but I guess I'm doing more of a C, like a half moon shape, and I'm just using an F86 brush to pat that in under my eyes, patting, not sweeping, so it actually stays on my face. And now I'm going to go in with Rimmel's Stay Matte powder in Silky Beige. This is a really awesome drugstore find. It's, in my opinion, just as good as higher end foundation powders. Has a tiny bit of color to it, but mostly just really helps to mattify the look. I don't know why my foundation looks so like orange on here. I swear it doesn't look like that in person, or if it is, no one's told me. But anyway, I'm just applying this with the Real Techniques brush. And now that I'm done with my base, I'm going to go back to finishing up my eyes. I am so sorry. I kept getting out of the frame in this. Honestly, I don't know how people do this. I'm gonna have to work something out. But anyway, I am using, ooh, got my eye. I'm using Swiss Chocolate again, the same color that I put in my outer corners. And I am just pushing that up into my lower lash line using a flat definer brush by Sigma. And there I go again. Come on, Vera. So I'm just pushing it in there. It's going to look pretty sloppy and messy at this point, and that's okay because I am going to blend it out next using another brush from Sigma. Love Sigma brushes. This one is their pencil brush. It's the E30. I have just a little bit of the soft brown by MAC on this, and I'm using that to blend out that color. And I'm kind of pulling up in the outer corners, following that line of my lower lash line so that it continues right up into the eyeshadow on my upper lid. And I'm just blending this until there are no harsh lines and it looks much more blended. And now I'm going to take this little itty bitty brush. How cute is that? It's another one from Essence of Beauty. I think it's their fine crease brush. And I'm just using Dazzlelight again. Just going back in on those inner corners to brighten them up and to get a little bit of a more intense highlight right in the inner corner. And there we go, stabbing myself. And it is a wonder that I am not blind by now. Now I'm going to take L'Oreal Infallible Liner, Kohl Liner. I'm not really sure what this is called, but I will put it in the description box below. And I'm just going to wiggle the wand at my roots a little bit. Probably should have done it more, but hey, nobody's perfect. Just going on to the other side. And one thing that I love about this mascara is not only is it just a really great drugstore mascara for a really amazing price, but there are two ends to the wand, so there is a lower lash side that you can use. Now, which I did. Oh my goodness, I hate computers. Sorry about that. Anyway, this is my MAC blush palette. Mostly MAC blushes, but it has a couple Makeup Geek blushes in it. And I'm Going to use Sculpt by MAC to attempt to contour my nose. um, I don't like to contour the sides of my face because I have such a bony, angular jaw already. And I really don't want to emphasize that any more than I need to. But did fall on my nose in fourth grade, so I'm just using this powder to try to straighten that out a little bit. Now I'm using the F80 brush with my leftover foundation just to blend that out. Now I'm going in with MAC's Cream Color Base in Pearl. I love this. It's so creamy. It's a really pale white gold color. Um, it's cream, obviously. And I'm just using that to highlight the tops of my cheekbones and above my brow. So sort of in a soft V or a C shape on both sides of my face. And to find where you want to put this, you just want to kind of turn your face from side to side a little bit, see where that natural gleam is when the light hits it, and then you're just going to emphasize that with the cream. Just going over to the other side. And you know, MAC has a lot of cream color bases in different colors, so there are shades that would work well for darker skin tones as well. I know Hush is another really popular one. Shell is a really good one, but I love Pearl. And now I'm just going in with Makeup Geek's, I believe, cheek highlighting brush this is called, and I'm just using that to blend things out. And I'm patting as opposed to sweeping because I don't want to rub the product right off of my face. Now I'm taking NYX's blush in Mauve and a Sigma brush. This is their E40. And I am putting this on my cheeks and just sort of blending it from the apples backwards. This is a beautiful, really natural shade for fall, but really any time of year. And I love it because it just seems to imitate like my natural flush. And finally, we are going in with the lipstick. This is Brick Ola from MAC. It is a brick red. I mentioned it in my fall favorites. And I am going to use it as a stain. So I'm just sort of patting it into my lips, and that's attractive. Just rubbing it in with my finger. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Just tap it in there until you have as much as you want. And this really, ooh, yeah, that's sexy. So yeah, this is a really nice way to do like a natural matte lip, especially for work. And also when you're patting it into your lips like that and then adding layer upon layer, you're really going to get it to last much, much longer. So that stain is going to last me, I'd say, a couple more hours than it normally would if I just put it on as a full-on lipstick. And that is the finished look. So now I'm just going to do some cheesy poses for you guys. If you have any recommendations or suggestions for me or even criticisms, as long as you're not rude, I don't care. Just write it in the comment box down below, and please subscribe to support me and so I can keep making these for you guys.